See if I can remember how to do this. You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 630, recorded September 28th, 2017. Tonight brought to you by CravenSpeed.com, MotoringStripes.com, and NowMotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. It's on Motoring.com. Doing that with a straight face while I'm looking at hipsters walking past the electric Mini in front of a bakery.
Wow. That was silk right there. Silky smooth.
There was a new ad that went up this week that actually it looked the least photoshopped of them. It was a woman walking away, looking down again.
Nice. I think they've been listening to me trolling them, and they've been posting less of the hipster pictures and more pictures of cars on the Twitters. Nice.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay, good. Wow. Everybody, it's DB in Arizona, bringing you a brand new episode of the world famous White Roof Radio. Yeah, I know it's been a while. I have been traveling for work. I've been busier than a one-legged man in an e-pining contest, and so suck it. That's all I got.
What that means.
Affectionately, suck it.
Affectionately, yes. I love you. XOXOXO. Anyway, thanks for your patience, gang. For reals. I've just been really busy. Todd's been really busy. Brian's been really busy. He can't figure out if he wants a job, if he needs another job. And then his wife has like now a 12-hour daily commute or something. I just can't keep track. And then I think somewhere in there, Gabe got really drunk again. I don't know. But go. First
Gabe
of all,
has been on a 5-year bender since we've known him.
Yes. We had some really fun Black Roof Radio. If you guys didn't hear it already, go over there, check it out, join the club. Remember, you can do that like a buck a show. And heck, this month it was practically free because there's only going to be 2 shows. Go over there, check it out. We were making fun of Gabe in Slack. He wasn't actually on the show. He was later. But we're going to talk about that later because we've got some really good information about the upcoming JCW GP. But being nice that we are, we waited until today, Monday, to share it with you so that Gabe would have plenty of time to punch it up on motoringfile.com, which you've already read, more than likely. But we had it here first, damn it. I want everybody to know we had it first, and I was being nice. I had to cut it out of Black Roof because I'm a nice guy.
Well, we have to.
And because we coerced Gabe, and he was mostly drunk, and we coerced him into telling us. So, because of that. But we had it first.
He called us from an undisclosed location.
He called us from the airport.
Oh,
or
right.
some kind of hipster convention. I couldn't tell. I was listening
for
artisanal.
The crappy Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. Or rather, we're going to talk to Gabe about that a little bit later on. We're going to talk about some stuff we found over at Motoring File. So we've got mini MTTS dates. Like I said, the GP concept. Worldwide mini sales, possibly. We get the new ad agency that's been announced. DCT, LCI details. Todd's got an update on his JCW crank pulley. For those of you who remember, Todd's car was making that funny screeching sound that he shared with us a little bit ago. And then also the news that Mini is cracking down on modifications to your car, which I think you guys...
And we're going to do that in reverse order.
And we're going to do that in reverse order. And we're going to do that here as soon as I remind you guys about one of the fine sponsors here underneath the White Roof, because I know you guys need a reminder about our friends over at outmotoring.com, right? Don't forget, first of all, let's just do this right off the bat. I want you to go over to outmotoring.com. I want you to make sure you're signed up for the email newsletter. Okay? Get that taken care of so that as soon as you get it, you get logged in, you get signed in, you get signed up. Aaron sends out an email once, twice, 3 times a month. And in that email, you get your own 5% discount code. Happens in every one. Get your own discount code. So you don't even have to screw around. Just like, oh, look, there's my discount code. Boom, done. Right? Simple. You save $10. It's like this month, you're saving $10 on all orders over $100 until the end of September using this code. What? That's amazing. That's
September's over by the time you're hearing this.
September's over. But you need to watch out for stuff like this. You can see deals on tools. Remember? Aaron's your complete one-stop shop for you DIY guys. Tools, the key fob covers for the R56 cars. Oh, what is this? A Minivac oil and fluid extractor? Oh, change your oil without making a huge mess? Oh, super awesome. Yeah, he's got the kit. Wow. It's a little expensive, but he's got it. He's got the special clip remover pliers and pry tool, for those little body panel clips, those annoying ones that always break when you have to take them off. Yeah, Aaron's got special tools to remove those over there. Not only that, he's got a full line of Mini Cooper wheels. Like, he's got a set right now of R124 used wheels. Those are really nice, one with the really nice clubbing wheels. And he's got them for, what's it, $159.95 each. He's got one set. That's what he had them last week. Go check it out. Motoring.com. Not only that, but a full line of car care products, all the waxes and things you need to get your car ready for fall and winter. Now summer's over, you gotta, get it ready for the salt on the roads. Plus a full line of all the things for your person, all the mini personalized stuff, the hats, the shoes, the watches, all that stuff, all available for you over at Outmotoring, outmotoring.com. I want you to go there and check it out. If you would be so kind, again, that's our friends over at Outmotoring, outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and Tecton tools. Really, whole tool set, wrenches and sockets. It's our friends over at outmotoring.com. Let's see if I can actually remember to put the news music in this week.
That was a reminder. You have to actually listen to the show as you edit it.
I do listen to the show. It's just I don't know how. I think I got distracted looking at something shiny.
Looking at something shiny on the internets.
Probably. Anyhow.
Well, there is. Before we break into the news, I want to update everybody before I forget, because last we talked, I was preparing to travel to Vegas for a few days.
Right.
Which I did. It was a good time. Came home with a comma or two in my pocket. And as usual, just becomes nature, So I took my car to the dealer. It was making a noise, a belt squeal, and I didn't know what it was. So I took it in and dropped it off while I was gone. And turns out there was, after I heard the belt squeal about a few days later, there was a bulletin sent around. It wasn't an official bulletin, but it was kind of a memo to the service departments about crank pulley issues on the new F-56 cars.
Okay.
And this covers all of them. Coopers, Cooper S's, Clubmans, everything. F-55 four-doors, everything with an F in front of it. And so anyway, I took it in and said, hey, can you guys look into this while I'm gone? Blah, blah, blah. And, while it's here, why don't you fix under warranty? What they've been fixing quite a bit of is the Cosmoline stains. Cosmoline has been leaking out of my car since it was new.
Really?
And it has stained the fender arches. It stains them so bad that you can't get it off. So you wash the car and you put like the back to black or whatever you use for your trim on the car on there. Mm-hmm. And it kind of lightens it for a little while. And then a couple of days later, it comes back and it's permanently stained. Well, Mini's replacing these under warranty. Just take it to the dealer. And what they do is they remove the whole bonnet off of the car and they blast it out. And then they recoat it with a different kind of wax that doesn't leak, like the Cosmoline, which is this substance they spray into all the nooks and crannies of your cars, of Minis when they travel across the ocean to keep rust from happening.
Right.
So anyway, they got a little happy with it for the last few years. If you live in a warm climate where it gets to be like 90 degrees or above, or probably even 80 degrees or above, it tends to leak out of the car.
Yes.
And
you see that in Arizona. We see that in Arizona a little bit.
Yeah, so Mini will replace this under warranty. So anyway, I left my car for crank pulley. They replaced this, and so they had it for a week, which is a whole other story. I got to drive a Clubman for a week, which I totally disagree with Gabe. I learned to hate this car.
Now, was yours an S or a Cooper? Really quick.
It was a Cooper. It was a manual Cooper, all four.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
Okay,
so
I didn't hate it because of the power, but I'm going to put a pin in that. We'll save it for another show.
Save that for another show.
So I leave my car there they have it for a week because they have to get they didn't have the parts.
Right.
Because I have a JCW and their special fender arches, and they didn't have the crank pulley either. They had to order that specially from Germany or wherever. So anyway, they take my car apart. Sure enough, it needs a crank pulley.
Wow.
So yeah, what was happening was the belt wasn't aligning properly on it, which really did cause the squeal. And it had started to separate. It wasn't completely separated, but two things: it wasn't the belt wasn't lining up properly, and I guess when you turn this, I kind of wish Chad were on the show because he probably knows more about it than I do. I guess when you turn it manually one way or another, it's supposed to return to like a zero position kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't doing that. It wasn't kind of going back to where it's supposed to go. So there was an issue, and They replaced the crank pulley, and I have to say, it feels like a brand new car now. I feel like I have more power. My throttle response is completely what it should have been. I mean, it kind of makes me think this car had a problem from when it was brand new a year and a half ago.
Wow.
I've had it for 18 months. And
you would have never known that, right? Because without having to have this update, you would have just would have felt normal, right? So
I would have always thought, the throttle response was lagging and shifting. So right now, I can shift between gears, and it is like smooth as butter between second and third gear now. It's like there's no power lag. There used to be a shifting between first and second gear. There was kind of a lurch that you'd, pop the clutch, and that happens in a lot of cars. You just get used to it. Now, my car is smooth as butter from gear to gear to gear.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. I've fallen in love with this JCW all over again after I got the crank pulley replaced. And I think they upgraded some software again. I'm not positive about this.
Probably.
But anyway, so, it might be something to think about if you're having little issues, shifting issues. I'm still having rev issues. If I turn the air conditioning off and I'm sitting at a stoplight and the car's in neutral and idling, it has a rough idle at, 500 to 800 RPMs. It kind of
mine did that after the update too, because they adjusted the throttle response too.
Yeah, it kind of sputters a little bit. It's like sounds like it's going to die. It never has died, but it kind of just like I mean, it's kind of weird. Just a low idle. But they've looked at it and said, you know what? Your car is running really well. We're not going to mess with it.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So,
but you did, not to dovetail into the next subject, but you did take your Dyna out of that before you took it in, right?
Yes. So that's the next thing. Segue into this.
Good job, Brian.
Is that I had the Dyna Sport, which is a little plug and play tuner there that basically gives you more boost. You can choose an extra 2, 3, or 4 horse.
And this was one that was this mod was one that was available from the dealer and certain like aftermarket shops, like Chad sold it. Right. I think you could order from Out Motoring, things like that.
Right. It was like a couple $100. It was like $299, and great bang for the buck. But it never caused me any issues. By the way, I never had a single issue with this. But some people have had some issues, and Mini's really starting to crack down on this. And they're like, if this is on a car and they're having issues, we are absolutely not honoring warranty on any of these issues. And they're really starting to crack down on it. So that's kind of a public service announcement from us here at White Roof Radio. You might want to think twice. I mean, I know I praised this, and I personally never had any problems.
And I've heard reports that people have just been using it like with really good results.
Right. So my thing is now is kind of at your own risk.
Yep.
If you're out of warranty, go for it, whatever. But at the same time, let's say they get to the point where they have to do an engine replacement. You don't want to necessarily pay for that because we're talking, upwards of $7,000 to $10,000.
Right. Exactly.
So, and here is another update. And man, I wish Chad were here, because when we had this discussion last show or the show before that, we were talking about people we knew who had, engine replacements. They come in and have no pressure in a cylinder or, something like that. And they do a full engine replacement. And Chad's like, this is ridiculous. They could probably fix it. Well, I found out what the reason for that was. Is when this happens on multiple occasions where something similar goes down, it's not that they can't fix it or figure out how to fix it. Is that Mini wants these engines back so that they can figure out what the problem is from the top down. And it's really proactive on their part.
Right.
I guess it's cheaper for them to send a replacement engine and go, let's just swap this whole thing out. You send this engine back to us. We're going to do our own tests internally, and we're going to see if we can track down what the problem is. And I kind of think it's proactive. It's not screw it, we're just replacing an engine. It's not that at all. They're really trying to figure out what's wrong, and so they don't continue with the issues. So, my 2 cents on there on that. Like Brian said, I think the Dyna Sport chip is causing some issues, and it's funny because Dyna has since come out with a stage 1 tune, which is more intensive. It's like $1,000, and Dyna provides a 3-year warranty with this tune. It does quite a bit more.
Yeah, but I'd love to read what that warranty actually entails, whether it's going to cover any sort of,
I don't know. So,
And it's not just the Dyna 2. It's like any of those plug and play systems. They're getting pissy about. Mini's getting pissy about. So
right. Which I understand. They don't want to have to warrant something that's a part on their car that
exactly.
That's totally logical on their part. So it's buyer beware a little bit on that, depending on how risky you want to be about modding your car. There you go. So
yeah,
perfect.
There it is.
There it is.
That's good. That's good, Todd.
Moving on. Sorry, I was pulling down this week's image for the show, and that is actually of the latest work collaboration between Mr. Todd and Mr. Chad, and that is some just truly badass graphics on Chad's Mini.
It's freaking gorgeous. That's what it is.
Dude,
that's why Chad's not here, because he's prepping his car. He's doing kind of some time trial racing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to call it autocross.
It's a second annual version of the event that he's at, and I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, it's kind of like autocrossing, but I don't know how much actually cone work there is on it. Mm-hmm. But it's time trials. Like you're competing against time and trying to get the best time. Mm-hmm. And anyway, he's getting his car prepped for that, and I did some funky dinosaur purple Detroit Tune race graphics for the sides of it.
Dude, it looks so cool.
I guess are now on the image for the show.
It looks really cool. And if you guys are wondering what we're on about, honestly, just look at the show image this week. I made it this week show image, and it looks really, really cool. You guys are going to dig it. I'm just saying.
For sure.
Yes. Moving on. Let us move on now to talk LCI details. So Gabe was busy this week on Motoring Files. So we have a lot of new stuff this week, including LCI details. And LCI, that of course is the mid-cycle refresh, life cycle interchange interference. What's that stand for? Impulse. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense unless you say mid-cycle refresh, and everybody goes, "Oh, that." And
it means something completely different in German. I'm sure.
I'm sure it does. Yeah,
probably makes sense in German.
It's like a list of things that we get with the refresh, like the Union Jack headlights we're finally going to get, which everybody's going goo gaga about because the taillights, because they look pretty cool. We get Chester Malt Brown available on the 3 and the 5 doors. Ooh, new logo, new interior stitching, a few other minor pieces, things like that. But we're also, this is the part. First of all, the thing that Gabe's most upset about, there's no power boost, and then Todd's a bit upset about that. I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm disappointed too.
But hey, lower CO2 emissions. Huh?
2 thumbs up.
Huh?
Ooh, that's how you shop for cars. By how much? What are the particulates on this?
What's the CO2 particulate output on this particular vehicle, sir? If you'd be so kind. I'm basing my next purchase on the CO2 emissions here in the United States. Now, of course, our friends and brethren in the UK and Europe, CO2 is huge. That's what they track, because they don't know that it's actually the NO2 particulates that cause smog, but whatever. That's fine. So they're focusing on that. So we're going to have lower CO2 emissions. Ooh. But we're supposed to be getting new transmissions.
Automatic transmission.
New automatic transmissions. Yes, we're supposed to get a DCT. Right?
Yeah, which we've been teasing for a long time. Gabe's been teasing, saying it's coming for a very long time. Now it turns out that not only is the DCT coming for the LCI, it's coming starting in November. Mm-hmm. Which these other things are not going to happen until March.
Right.
But coming in November, you'll be able to get this dual clutch transmission.
Yep.
Which is pretty fast.
Yes.
But it's not going to be available on the JCW. They're not upgrading the JCWs to DCTs.
At least initially.
At least initially. That was another big shocker, I think.
Are they going to keep the JCW Are they going to keep the JCW on the 8-speed automatic for the automatic equipped cars?
Yes. And I think his point was that there's so little difference in speed of these transmissions for that there just was it didn't seem like it was a value proposition to make it happen.
Yeah.
However, I think there's something else up Mini's sleeve.
Yeah. So and just so you guys know, looking at Motoring File here, the DCT is going to start replacing the current automatic with its November production on the Mini Cooper D and the Mini 1, which means we won't see that in the States until 2018 on the Mini Cooper and the Mini Cooper S.
There you go.
And then the 8-speed automatic is going to stay on the Clubman, the Countryman, and also the JCW and the Cooper SD, also another car that we don't get in the States.
Well, and I think the biggest news about the LCI, especially because we're tech nerds here, is that is coming standard is the tech updates for this. Now, standard, and I'm just going to say this publicly, is that I was made fun of 2 years ago when I said, within the next 5 years, navigation will be standard on all cars. Mm-hmm. And Gabe said, "Oh, you're insane. That's never going to happen. It's a total cash cow for the company." I'm like,
right.
So guess what's going to happen with the LCI? Navigation and touchscreen, including CarPlay, will be standard across the board.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Good. And now I'm sure there's going to be a more advanced nav screen. This is going to be like, right now there's 2 different size screens in the F56 or the F generation cars. You get the standard one that comes in all cars, or the navigation, the Ultra HD widescreen. It's really only like an inch wider or an inch and a quarter wider. It's the same height. But I'm sure they'll find a way to stick it to people for an extra $1,000 for bigger display.
Well, they have to add more value to the car because they're already pricing themselves out of existence with it right now, so they got to add more value in there.
And that's exactly what I've been saying for years now, is that to compete, and also add more value, but to compete, because you know what? They're trying to market these cars to, we like to call them the hipsters.
Yes.
Right, DB?
They're trying to market cars to people who aren't buying cars.
So, exactly. Right. And so to appeal to those people, don't you think that things like tech, CarPlay, navigation are important?
Yes.
And touchscreen. They want to touch things. They want to experience things.
Yes, it has to be it has to be experiential.
Right? Yes. I'm being sarcastic.
Nobody wants the janky mini connected anymore. People want to use their Apple phone in their cars with CarPlay. So this makes sense that they have accelerated the introduction of CarPlay into the Mini Cooper.
Right.
Because I bet you if they were smart, they're doing exit interviews, and I bet you that the bulk of those exit interviews are people who are walking in and going, "Well, this car's really cool. It'd be even cooler if I had CarPlay, so I'm going to go down the street and buy a Volkswagen instead."
Or anything else like that. Or a Kia, for crying out.
Yeah.
Exactly. And can I say, for since I've been on the show the last time, I've driven
a Kia Rio twice, and please don't ever make me do that again.
Well, I drove a Kia also when I was in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, and it was a Kia Soul, brand new one.
Kia Soul, amazing car compared to the Kia Rio, by the way.
Not to mention it was the new turbo one.
Oh, so so it had the turbocharged 2-liter.
Yeah, it was kind of peppy, and it had CarPlay. The first car I've ever had I used.
And how did CarPlay work in the Kia?
It was fantastic. I plugged my phone in, and it's like, boom, CarPlay comes.
Yep. Hey, Siri, I'm hungry. Take me. Oh, here's some choices. Oh, awesome. Take me there. Okay, there you go. You're there. And
the fun thing is I got to use it to its full extent because I went and saw our buddy Mike Marine when I was there, which by the way, I hope it works out. I haven't had a chance to edit it yet, but I did get a short interview with him.
Okay.
Our mini friend from Las Vegas. But anyway, I used navigation to get over to his place, and while I was en route, I got a text message. And the cool thing CarPlay does when you're driving and navigation is on, or you're listening. So here's the thing. I was listening to music from my phone. I had navigation on with turn-by-turn directions, and I got a text message when I was there. Mm-hmm. What's really cool is it turns the music down, lets you know you get a text message, and if you click on it, you can't read it while you're driving.
No.
It reads it to you automatically.
Yeah. Yes, and then Siri will let you reply.
And then it asks, would you like to reply to this? And you can say yes or no.
It's an amazing experience when it's properly implemented. I agree.
It really is. And the fact that it was so robust, and the CarPlay system in this Kia that I had was really snappy. Like you press on something, and it was like using an iPad. It was really as good as an experience.
That was my experience when I had it in that Chevy Malibu a couple months earlier this year. And then Gabe's going on about how it's so poorly implemented. And I was in that Chevy Malibu. Dude, and it was brilliant. Just like your experience with the Kia.
Gabe was complaining to us that he couldn't get his phone connected to CarPlay in a BMW. He spent 30 minutes and still never got it connected.
Oh, then he's doing it wrong because it's not that hard. It really isn't.
That's what I thought too. But anyway,
anyway, CarPlay coming to the next at the LCI break. So that's good.
It's going to be welcome. It's really going to be welcome because DB, you and I both said, our next car is going to have CarPlay.
And
you're trying to figure out a way to put it in your 2013.
And I'm going to put this out to the White Roof Radio listener now because I've seen it, and there's a post on NAM, a couple posts on NAM actually. I don't want to mirror my phone to the mini connected screen. Can't do it anymore anyway with the Lightning connector. I want a mini connected. I want to put not mini connected. I want to put Apple CarPlay screen where my mini connected screen is now. If anybody has done that, has seen it done, or has information pertaining to getting it done, leave a note in the show notes because I am actively looking to do that.
My attitude was if I was that desperate to do it, I'd just buy a larger mount for like an iPad Mini. A few hundred bucks, you can buy an iPad Mini to be dedicated to your car. Now, you don't want to leave it in there, of course.
No, but Crutchfield actually has a center console replacement faceplate that's doubled in that removes the factory CD player, but that doesn't work with mini connected. It's if you have the factory stereo in the R56 style car. So it has a plug for the stereo. When you take the factory stereo out, it has like a blank that you can stick in there, and then it has a double DIN mount that goes down below. That's not what I want. I want to put the Apple CarPlay screen where my mini connected screen is. I want to basically remove mini connected from my car, but I still want to keep the HK parts. So I'm not in a rush. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it tomorrow, but I'm trying to assemble the knowledge and necessary information needed to make that happen.
Well, let's hope you figure it out. I can't do that for our Roadster because we don't have a navigation screen. It's just got the...
You've just got the rig. So you could get that piece from Crutchfield that essentially replaces... It's a new center console faceplate, so you can put in a double DIN. You put a double DIN head unit in, and there's a blank piece that fills in where your stereo was. And so in that double DIN mount is where you can put a CarPlay screen.
Nice.
Yes. And that whole kit's like $150. Done.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
I'll look it up and I'll link it up in the show notes. And most of you guys out there listening have already seen this, and you probably might even have it in your car. If you want to upgrade the stereo in your Mini, that's how you do it. Anyway, I'll link that up. Let's move on, shall we?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's talk. We talked about DCT. We talked about the LCI details. I
think the big news we haven't talked about since we've been gone.
The new ad agency.
Well, not the big. Well, that's big news to you.
Not really to me. I don't care.
No, it's big news. The ad agency, which none of us have ever really heard of. They got a new agency and a new digital agency also. It's a pair.
I think they make penny saver ads in the Midwest. That's been their claim to fame so far.
It's not that bad. They've got some big clients like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they do. I'm just kidding.
Some big name clients, and we really won't know anything until we see something from these guys. But let's just say it was announced back in February. It only took them 8 months to
let us know.
It's 7.5 months to find somebody. Which, hey, more power to them. And I love the guy, but Pat McKenna is. But I love the guy, and Pat McKenna is now heading up the kind of mini marketing end of this. I'm really proud to say I can't wait to see what he comes up with, with the new agency, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's Pariah.
We love Pat. He's been around Mini long enough to know.
Yes, he has.
Have you taken a scan on their client list?
Bryant and Odell, no. I haven't. Yeah. Let's pull them up right now. BryantOdell.com.
Yeah, so they have like some past clients. They have Snoop Dogg is on there, Toshiba, Jawbone. That was a success.
They've already added Mini to their current client list.
Uber's on there.
Ooh.
As a previous client.
European Wax Center.
Yeah. Coca-Cola is one of the companies listed on there too.
Yeah. Annie's Homegrown. I don't even know what that is. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
About time. So maybe we'll start seeing some better Photoshop work. It would seem the dog would agree.
Let's just DB,
my dog agrees.
DB, you and I hope that there's like some real people in the ads.
I honestly hope that there's. Yeah, it's. I mean, we love the kids over at Mini USA, honestly, but guys, your Photoshop skills are awful. So I'm hoping they actually get somebody with an agency actually has Photoshop skills. Just saying.
You realize right now, Pat McKenna is screaming at his radio
Pat,
on his way to work.
Pat, we love you.
It's not photoshopped. I was there. Those were real people.
Photoshop.
Sure, they were.
we love all of our friends that are at Mini USA. We really do. We really do.
You guys are super.
I hope Pat's laughing so hard he's crying right now.
So do I. No, Todd, what was the big news that you wanted to talk about?
Well, the big news. This happened since the last time we
that big news. Yeah.
Was the GP concept was released.
Oh yes.
At Geneva, and it was all the rage for a few days.
Yeah, and our friend, our good man Michael Talley, got a lot of photos. I haven't actually. I'm going to check his Flickr because I think he's got them in his Flickr, and I'll make sure I link that up in the show notes. But Michael was actually at Frankfurt this year again. Got to go for the press days. So I want you guys to go. If I posted pictures, there's going to be a link in the show notes, and I want you to go check them out. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, this GP concept, which is just a concept. It's like a design, not even a design experiment. It's a concept, and Mini historically has.
Didn't we talk about this in the last show? I want to say we talked about it in the last show.
No, we talked about the electric car, but we had not seen the GP concept
right,
yet.
It hadn't hit the.
It hit the day after our last show.
You're correct. Okay, that's right. That's what I was thinking of. Yep.
So anyway, this thing just comes out of the blue. Nobody was expecting this at all. It just comes out of the blue, and it's this pretty hot-looking, if I may say so myself, concept car with lots of carbon fiber on it. These just fat wheels that I swear, when you look at the pictures, the wheels are set out at least 4 inches farther. The track.
Yeah, I like.
They're huge.
Like the electric car, I don't like the fender things they did on this car, like on the electric car. I don't like the fins, for lack of a better term.
I do when you step back a ways, but I can imagine those aren't going to make it to production because
I like the chin and
carbon fiber on this car.
Yeah, I like the. I mean, it looks like the Batmobile from the side, but I like the chin. I like the rear spoiler treatment. I like that it just looks like a badass race car for the most part, kind of. Yeah,
and they kind of shaved the rear of it like they did the electric concept. Yeah. Which is really cool. There's a lot about this car there is to love. The thing I'm not certain about it is the wing. It's like, what the?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a little Subaru WRX STI looking.
Subaru-tastic.
Well, you know what? It's very much like, it's sort of a knockoff of the Challenge cars, like how the Challenge, the Mini Challenge cars are like that too. So.
Yeah. But it's
similar.
Here's the thing about this car is you see a bunch of the close-up pictures. It's okay, but when you step back from this car and look at it from a distance, the whole like shape of it and the image of it to me is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the color of this car. It appears to me to be somewhere between
Here we go.
the two GP colors.
Yes, I would agree 100%.
It's darker, yeah.
It's closer to the original Thunder Blue, but it's got more gray in it.
Yeah.
And the Thunder Gray now is really dark, so this is a little bit lighter. But anyway, there's lots about this car to love. The wheels, you gotta love the wheels. They've tweaked the front fascia a bit.
They took the pedestrian bumper out of there, so now you just have big grill. Nothing but grill.
It's just that whole Lexus front end. And you know what? Our man Gabe has got even more information. He's probably posted it over on motoringfollow.com right now, but we have it here. And can I just drop it in right now? Is that okay?
Do it. No. Yeah, I don't care.
We're going to drop the part with Gabe in right now?
Yeah, I'm going to drop that in right
the
here.
unredacted part.
The unredacted. This is Gabe being unredacted.
Mini is file under Mini is getting serious finally.
Okay.
It's going to have. You're waiting for it.
Yeah.
This is going to have a real mechanical differential.
Okay, that's
it's going to be all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Nice.
It's going to be limited to 2,000 units worldwide.
So that's normal. Okay.
It's going to have 280 horsepower.
Ah,
wow.
Damn. About time.
Hello, Focus RS.
Damn.
It's going to have the same all-wheel drive system or the same differential as a Focus, I believe.
Nice.
By the way, I knew it was all-wheel drive. If you watch the video that they showed of the car moving, they show a wheel peeling out. It's a back wheel of the car.
It's all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Clubman. So here's what my source.
No, it's the GP. It was on the GP. It was on the GP video. If you go back and look at it.
Oh yeah,
there's a close up.
Okay, so
of just
here's
the
what
wheel. It's a rear wheel, and I went all wheel drive.
So here's what he refused to tell me. He refused to tell me. I was basically like, "Wait, you mean Countryman and Clubman?" He's like, there's more.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Gabe,
So,
we can't wait to read that. We can't wait to read more on Motoring File. Hey guys, it's DB. Just a quick asterisk here. Anytime you guys heard Gabe or Todd or me or any of us say all-wheel drive, and anytime that you hear us say all-wheel drive going forward, please remember that is just front-wheel drive, as we have since been clarified on that by a post over at Motoring File, which I will be sure to link up in the show notes. And we're back. So that is very exciting. How much of that is 280 horsepower?
Horsepower.
All-wheel drive. Wow. This is going to be a Ford Focus RS killer. So is this actually what they're going to do, do we think? I mean, Gabe's source is pretty strong.
It is, and here's the thing, too, that I agree with this, is the all-wheel drive part. When you look at the video that was posted for this, and when I saw it, I did a double take, and nobody really believed me. Yep. But they do a close-up of this car peeling out, and you see the wheels spin, and I instantly went, those are the back wheels. Those are the back wheels. This car's going to be all-wheel drive. Holy shit. So go back and look at it and tell me what you think. A lot of people are like, no, those are front wheels. Those are not the back. You can't tell. It's got the carbon fiber around it. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was a teaser that this car is going to be all-wheel drive. That in that clip, when you see like the GP in motion, that you see the wheels peeling, and it is such a brief. It's like half a second. You really have to be paying attention to this. So that's the big news, is that they've modified this to be potentially, so we hear, all-wheel drive. So there's just mind blown.
Yes, and this is a car that we won't even see until 2019. But
which makes complete sense.
Sense.
That's when it would be due, right?
That's when it's due. Is always due right there at the end of the cycle, of the life cycle, right? But honestly, if they can do a car like that, that's Focus. That is
badass.
That is Focus. Focus RS territory. Excuse me. That's definitely what that is. Well, I'm trying to actually pull open the Focus page at Ford, just because I don't remember what the specs were, but it's roughly the same. Oh, it's 350 horsepower. So it's pretty close to getting into the that Volkswagen and Focus range. So we'll see.
The thing about the Focus RS DB is it's heavier than this car.
Well, it's also got a bigger motor. It's got that big monster 2.3 liter 4-cylinder as opposed to the 2 liter 4-cylinder. So that's extra weight, plus it's a bigger car. So I think performance-wise, knowing the way BMW builds the motors and puts cars together for Mini, I think it might be on par.
Yeah, I think so, and I do think that we're going to be hearing a lot more if this is true about the all-wheel drive system in this car. Is that what we heard long ago, that the F chassis was going to be basically built to accommodate an all-wheel drive setup, and then Mini backed off on that and said, no, absolutely not. We're gonna limit all-wheel drive to just the Clubman and the Countryman. Well, turns out this is BMW. This is BMW, and they have put all-wheel drive in every model that they have, practically.
Now, to be fair, that was back in the R56 days, right? Right. When they said nope. And now we got the F56, and it's just like, oh, yeah, we can do that. Right? Because the chassis, I mean, they've already got it in that chassis anyway. Pretty much. Yep. So, I don't know. That's pretty
what was he saying? He was saying for numbers 2,000, is that said globally?
2,000 globally, which is that's normal.
Which is, I think, what they've always done. They shipped more to the U.S. The GP2, I believe there was 500 of them, and the GP1 there was only 415.
Okay, so Todd, so far, let's just throw this out there because we have no idea. Let's talk price. So the first GP was 30 grand, 32, right?
31.5.
31.5. The second GP was 38.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Right in there. So this GP, with all the improvements and blah, 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 I'm going to say this GP is going to come in at 47.
Yeah, damn near 50.
Damn near 50.
Yeah, I'm going in the 50s.
You're going to go
Yeah, I don't
50s, Brian? I don't think it's going to be that much.
Yeah.
I think they'll keep
I'm
it
going in
under
the 50s. The Focus is going in the 50s right now. So
Yeah, they're going to keep it under 50. I think if anything, it'll be the 48 to 49.
Okay, I go with that.
It doesn't want to get absolutely obscene.
Yeah.
But I look at this and go, okay, this is going to have most of the stuff like performance modifications, like a suspension, additional horsepower,
mechanical diff.
exhaust.
right.
All of this I've got on my car, and my car was like 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is extreme. I think I think it's a good value for what I got. And then you go, look at all the extra stuff you're going to get on this car. Yeah, 46, 48, probably going to be pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Come back and we'll find out.
Going to keep it rare. And here's another thing. Did you guys notice? It's only got one windshield wiper.
Yeah, that's cool.
Race car stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's just cool.
That's like
That
a
is
race,
very,
it's like a race car.
Right? Yeah, it's very
It's-
like 24 hours
very-
Le Mans look. I mean, it's
exactly.
Yeah.
As Gabe said, they've finally gotten serious.
Yeah. Yeah, this car is going to be a hoot to drive. I have a feeling. Hopefully we get it. Hopefully we actually somebody gets to see it before it actually comes out in 2019.
Well, and can I just say that, and this is going to segue into our next story, which we haven't talked about yet, is MTTS dates are announced for 2018.
Yep, and it's only going to be for a day and a half. The
One
world's
blink of the eye.
The world's
and then it's
shortest
over.
mini takes the states ever.
They figured out a way to, and DB jokes about this.
I was
but
joking.
Basically, they've cut it down from 2 weeks to 1 week.
Yep,
It's
made
gonna
it
be
a
like
week.
9 days.
Mhm.
I think it starts on a Saturday and goes to
Those dates, for those of you who are wondering, you probably you scoped them off of Motorfile, but it's July 14th through the 22nd, and that's going to be in 2018. So book the time off.
Can I say, remember, Mini Takes the States has always been about the GP.
Yes.
In 2006, the very first Mini Takes the States was built around the GP as that was the base. It was the reason for doing Mini Takes the States. Our old friend Jim McDowell, he had this idea that we're going to sell half. We're going to have half of them picked up in California. Then we're going to drive across country, and the other half are going to be picked up in Lime Rock. And that's what they did.
Oh, yeah.
Then, what do we remember back in, what was it? Would have been...
Then 2008.
2012?
Well, 12. Right?
There was the GP, like the concept. It wasn't even a production version of it. It was basically like a highly modified Cooper S to look like a GP.
Yeah, that they were towing around on a trailer, right?
No. Chris P drove it across the
that's
country.
right. That's right. He did. Right.
Yeah, he drove it across country. So in 2012,
which was already the fourth. That was the fourth Mini Takes the States, by the way.
So it was about a year before it came out because it came out in 2013.
Correct.
Right. And so Gabe said this is coming out in 2019. He says it'll probably be released about a year from now. And I'm kind of like, anybody else thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They'll have those cars there next year.
They'll have one. At least it'll be on a trailer, something, maybe the concept, if you will. It may not be a real GP3, but at least the concept will probably be on Mini Takes the States next year. I'm saying that now.
Right. And it's going to be interesting to see what they pick for a route also to keep it on Mini Takes States, considering that it's only going to be an 8-day trip.
Yeah. I
so
predict. Here's my prediction.
It won't be
right
cross
now.
country, clearly.
I'm going to be totally wrong, but
Unless it's going to be like Cannonball Run style, like a race.
No, Brian will appreciate this. I think it's just like Seattle to Southern California.
I agree.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. The way that if you read the description, it's talking about trees and all that kind of crap. So
and it's not going to go straight. Yeah, it's not going to go straight down the West Coast, but I would say starting in Seattle, go into Utah, through like Montana, Wyoming kind of thing, back through the Southwest into California. You can totally do that in a week, and it would be a blast.
It'd be a lot of fun places to drive there.
That would be a really good time. Or it could be, not that.
And can I say that is really the last part of the country? It could not be that, but it's the last part of the country that Mini Takes the States has never been to.
That is correct, because Mini Takes the States has gone through Florida. It's gone through damn near every state in the union except for Washington and Oregon. And Idaho.
We've been
but
to
Idaho's
freaking
not-
Dakotas for crying out
Yeah,
loud, and not been to Seattle.
Right.
A lot of time in the Dakotas.
Yeah, exactly. So every state in the union, dang near every state in the union, except for Oregon and Washington. So hopefully in 2018, they will change that up, which would be delightful.
Let's go back on the concept really quick here, just so I can take this out of my brain and stop looking at this video, this walk around video.
Yes.
But this is at least from my experience, the most workable concept I've seen, like drivable. I mean, that thing in that video is being driven, right, Todd?
Right.
And so, I mean, from a work, like the electric car is barely drove onto the stage kind of a thing. It's not like you're going to see it out in the wild. But I mean, they could actually drive this thing, and move it around, which actually makes it farther along in the lifespan than I think we all are figuring out at this point.
Not only that, you see it driving on a track at speed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, maybe they're farther along with this than we even think, and we may see more than just one next year. Who knows? But I totally buy into the idea of MTTS being the jump off point for the GPs.
And it's just been history for me. I mean, if you look at it, and I think Mini is all about history and heritage. And if I were them, I would move heaven and earth to make that happen for GTS next year in 2018, to at least get this concept over here so that people can see it. Because my attitude is that Mini Takes the States was born out of the GP. It really was in 2006.
Right.
It started off with that in Monterey, California, with the deliveries of the first GPs. I was there. I took delivery of my car. It was awesome. So I hope they go ahead and go through with that. And, love to see this thing in person. And the one thing that we haven't talked about either, we said that they weren't changing the logos on these cars, the badges.
Right.
Yeah.
Turns out they are going to change
That's
the
part
badges.
of that's actually part of the LCI.
Yeah. LCI, we saw it on both the electric concept and the GP. The Mini Wings badges on the front of this car. There's really none on the back. It looks like a decal.
Yeah.
But they're changing the wings finally.
Yep. About time.
Which I actually didn't think was going to be able to translate very well, just because of the delicate nature of that logo. But I think it actually looks quite nice.
I think it'll work. I think it'll absolutely work. I've grown to appreciate it, and now the old logo just looks antique to me.
Sure does.
But it's been 4 years. The new logo concept and everything came out in 2014. It was announced in like February 2014 and started with the rollout of the F56. So,
which I'm kind of surprised that it took them this long to actually change over the badging on all these cars. I mean, seriously, unless they had a big bin full of these suckers just sitting around going, okay, we got all these old badges, we got to do something with them. Let's just put them on these cars.
Stick them on everything. Seriously,
that's probably what it was. It's entirely
possible.
We
have a 5-year supply. We can't make this happen until the LCI.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about all the news, I think. So really quick, let me tell you guys about cravenspeed.com, if you guys would be so kind. I want to remind you, first of all, if you're not on their email list, you're missing out because you haven't found out that the Mini Quick Puller's been back in stock, second-gen Mini Adjustable Short Shifter's back in stock, as well as the F60 and R60 Mini Platypus kits are back in stock. So if you are looking for any of those parts, head yourself over to cravenspeed.com and get them ordered. Don't forget, when you place your order, say thanks for supporting White Roof Radio in the comments. We appreciate that. Of course, they do. So do they. Cravenspeed.com. Go over there, check them out. They've got all the really cool custom crafted, custom made out of carbon fiber and titanium stuff for your Mini and other cars. So just because your car is not a Mini or your wife's car is not a Mini, but you still want to kind of support Craven Speed, you want to get some Craven Speed goodness in your car, click over because he's got parts for they make stuff for a lot of other cars, not just the Mini. Go over and check it out. Some things that you're going to be the most interested in would be the Mini smartphone mount, because it's a really cool way to mount your cell phone in your Mini Cooper, so you don't have to, you can actually see it and you don't have to hold it in your hand, especially if you live in California or Nevada or one of the other states where driving with a phone in your hand is against the law. The short shift kit, like I mentioned already, is awesome, especially if you have an R56 Cooper. It's awesome, and especially if you have a Miata you can get the short throw shifter kit for the Miata now as well. Of course, the platypus mount is awesome. If you live in a state that requires you to have a license plate at the front of your car and you don't want to drill holes in your bumper, Craven Speed's got you covered with the platypus mount. Really nice piece. Super awesome. Very cool. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to cravenspeed.com. You're going to go to the customer gallery page. It's one of the little scrolly things on the main homepage. And you're going to upload a picture of your car. And if you do that, when you do that, this is a cool little cravenspeed.com hack. I'm checking right now. If you do that, they used to let you might actually still get a deal. You might get a coupon code when you're done. So go ahead and select the part, select the photo, talk about it, rate it, and put your info in there. You might still get a deal when you do that. So go check that out. And there's a lot of really cool cars, and you'll see that it's not just minis. There's some Ford Raptors. I see some Audis. I see a Volkswagen Beetle. I see a Mazda. What else am I seeing? There's a Mini. A lot of pickup trucks, Toyota pickup trucks. There is a very wide selection of automobiles over at cravenspeed.com for those of you who aren't really believing me that they sell stuff for other cars. Go over there, check them out. Also, too, make sure you check out the About page, and then you can read all about the fine and attractive Craven Speed crew, everybody that helps put everything into a box and get it out to you, including our good friend and buddy and proper brown booze drinker, Mr. Killen. Go over there, check it all out. That's, of course, available over at cravenspeed.com, if you'd be so kind. Thank you very much.
Sir.
All right. So we did that. We were busy. We did Black Roof. What else? There was something else. And I forgot what it was. There's that video.
Oh, we didn't talk about worldwide mini sales, but we can put a pin in that because we bashed on that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. We'll skip the worldwide mini sales.
Yeah.
Todd, I'm stoked that your car is running well. One thing I've noticed, and I don't know what this is, and I'm going to have Jerry take a look at it, is I think in my car it's getting worse. I almost have no throttle response in my car.
What?
It's ridiculous. If I get on the gas in sport mode or not in sport mode, and I know this is because I have the automatic, there is a ginormous delay from the time I put my foot on the gas till I actually go. Like, I need to think ahead if I'm trying to sneak out into traffic. I actually need to think ahead what I need to do because the lag is so huge. Like, ridiculously huge. I am curious if this is something that you're having issues with as well, or if you notice with your R56 with the automatic transmission. I'm very curious. Send us an email, feedback@whiteroofradio.com, or leave us a note in the show notes, please.
I have not noticed that in our 2013, but with the manual.
You've got the manual. I've got the automatic. And
so I can
it's
feather it a little bit more, but I also find we've had some exceptionally cool weather of late. Mm-hmm. And I mean, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and this thing just drives like a champ.
It could. I'm ready to blame it on summer heat with the air conditioning going.
I would totally blame it on the heat DB if I were you.
I'll do that.
Wait till it cools off, and when it gets into the 60s, like you're consistently in the early mornings and when you get the opportunity to drive it in the 60s and 70s, see if it feels the same or if maybe. It gets better. Right.
Well, I am due for oil filter change, so I'm going to be getting that done here pretty soon.
Always put a filter in it too. Like that helps, especially in your area.
Yeah.
I would change the filter twice as frequently as most people do.
Yeah, I'm probably going to put a K&N drop in like I did on the R56 that I had. I'll probably do the same thing here. Just go bigger. Yeah, then you just wash it out. Got to do that, and that's coming up here very, very soon. So hopefully that'll help. And plus, we have cooler weather on the way. We have not had double-digit temperatures in almost a week, so I'm hoping that continues.
Yeah, I gotta say, even our manual R56 with the JCW exhaust on it is sluggish in the high heat.
Right.
Like above 90, it gets a little sluggish.
Okay. Got it. Because, the power's always been there, even with the air conditioning on, even in 111-degree temperatures. The power was still there. It's just a huge, huge throttle response delay. So I'm going to, for now, I'll chalk it up to the heat, and I'm hoping that it improves with the cooler weather.
I had a funny thing happen to me today on the way home from working at the dealer. Is I'm sitting at a stoplight, and I'm in a lane that ends right after you cross the intersection. You kind of got to bust it and get over in front of the guy. So I'm sitting next to a Honda, and he tries to race me. And I say a Honda, but let me tell you, it was a Honda CR-V.
What?
He literally peels out because he doesn't want me to get in front of him. And I just kind of chuckled a little bit. And I think when he heard my tires screech hitting second gear, he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And just laugh. I mean, and I gave him like a half a car length head start. So I'm like, oh, seriously? We're going to do this?
I'm surprised you didn't give him more than that. You probably could have beat him in reverse.
Oh, geez. It was funny. It was like, dude, you're in a CRV.
Wow.
That is really funny. That is super funny. Otherwise, I think we're done. Brian, do you have anything else?
I don't.
Brian, you have stuff for us, but we're going to talk offline. So we're going to come back to that. Everybody else, all you guys out there, again, thank you for your patience while we didn't have a show for the whole entire month of September. Guaranteed, or your money back as always. That is the White Roof Radio pledge. But if you are a patron, go over and check out the Patron Club. There is a new episode of Black Roof Radio. Todd and I talk about iPhones, and we really make a really good time and a lot of fun with Gabe.
And if you're not a patron with Patreon,
yes,
go be one. Give us $2 a month. You know, that's all it takes. You can give more than that too. You can give us $5.
Exactly.
Right.
Go join the club, and you get in all the cool stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Right. You get extra content.
You get extra content every time. And I'm still working up things to do for you guys otherwise. But for right now, you get an extra show. You get a whole 100% extra show when you are part of the Patreon club. It's very cool stuff.
And by the way, our next show coming up, we're going to try and do this, is our good friend AJ went to California recently and did the mini driving.
Oh, that's right.
Like, they have like a stunt driving aspect to their driving academy out in California in Palm Springs. And we want to have her on briefly and kind of talk about going out and doing that.
Exactly.
And next week, guys, I go. Minnie's coming down. The guys from Lap Motorsports are coming down. I don't know if it's Lap Motorsports. No, it's not Lap Motorsports. It's not Lap Motorsports. It's the guys from Miles Ahead.
Oh, okay.
Are coming
oh,
They're
cool.
bringing all JCW Clubmans.
Nice.
All JCW Clubmans, and we get to drive the crap out of them on an autocross course.
Dude.
For the
That sounds like fun.
Next Sunday. So next Sunday, I'm going to go hang out with the guys from Miles Ahead and thrash a JCW Clubman all-wheel drive.
Well, that sounds truly delightful.
So next
sure
time,
does.
have that to talk about.
So we're going to talk about that next time. Hopefully, we get Gabe next time as well. We caught him during the airport or at some hipster convention of some sort. I don't know exactly what he was doing. Something craft, this, that, or artisanal, something or other. Not really sure. Anyway, we're going to try to get Gabe on because he'll have more information about the new GP, as well as more information about the LCI, so we can talk more about that as well with you guys, which would be really super awesome. Otherwise, I do believe we're done. Going once, going twice. Don't forget sponsors here underneath the White Roof, our friends over at motoring.com, minidumore.com, cravenspeed.com, and of course, motoringstripes.com. Todd, what's new at Motoring Stripes?
Hey, is the I don't know if it's live yet, but
the Clubman bumper protection strip is live,
and the F56 is done. I've perfected that now. It's on version 3, and it's awesome.
Okay,
the
cool
F56 bumper protection strip.
Nice.
Which now I put it on 2 cars this week. It is just incredible.
Okay, what about the R59 bumper protection strip?
You and my lady friend keep bugging me about that. So as soon as I stick it on her car, I'll send one to you, DB.
Okay.
We can then post about it and make it for sale. So
there you go. So go
and the Countryman one, the new Countryman, the F60, is also virtually finished. I've just been so busy getting stuff done. I hate to put something on there and then not be able to, get them out to people in a timely manner. So I hope to do that in the next couple of weeks because at the end of the month, I'm going to SEMA.
See, there you go. So, gang, what this
That'll be
is,
fun.
it's a very nice piece. Of course, it's nice because Todd made it. It fits exactly perfect, and it protects your bumper where it needs to be protected, especially if you've got an R60 Countryman, if you've got the F60 Countryman, or if you have the new Clubman, the F-Series Clubman. That piece is available now, even though you might not see it on the website. You do the motoringstripes.com contact form hack, and you just ask Todd to send you one. And Todd, what's that price? What's that piece cost?
They're $60.
$60, and he'll send you one. Also, the other motoringstripes.com contact form hack is if you are looking for your air conditioning to work, now is actually time to do this particular mod while it's cooler. It makes the piece go on. It's a White Roof Radio Sunroof Delete Kit. It's easier to install when the temperature is not a zillion degrees on the West Coast. If you're on the West Coast and you have a sunroof on your car and you want the sunroof gone in the worst possible way, but you love your car, you owe it to yourself to go over to the Motoring Stripes, motoringstripes.com, hit the contact form, and tell Todd you want a White Roof Radio Sunroof Delete Kit. You tell him the color you want it in, send him $100, he's going to send it to you, and you install it, and your air conditioning will magically start working in your car.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Yes.
It's awesome. I swear by that. Todd, I had one on Roxy forever. The one that was not painted, it was like 3 or 4 years old, and it held up brilliantly, and it was just solid white. And it actually, that with the proper tint on my windows, made the air conditioning work like a boss on that car. And it was a 13-year-old car.
It makes huge
It makes a huge difference. It really, you won't think it does, but it makes a huge difference. You can still open your sunroof, of course. It just keeps the sun from coming in because, you always have that little cabana top thing, right? So it's awesome. Motoringstripes.com. Use the contact form. Tell Todd that you want a White Roof Radio Sunroof Delete Kit, and tell him what color, and have a check for $100 ready to go, or credit card payment, or cash, or chickens. Don't pay him in chickens.
Or all the above. Yeah,
Todd,
whatever.
Todd
Gin
doesn't.
trade. Gin is my
Todd
gin
will.
is- Yeah, gin is my spirit animal.
Yes. Todd does work for gin. He does not work for chickens.
No.
Okay, got it. Motoringstripes.com. Go over there and check them out, please, if you'd be so kind. Otherwise, we are done for the weekend. Again, thanks again for listening. For those of you who have taken the time to leave some nice words also for us over at in iTunes, thank you for that. We do appreciate it. For those of you who are listeners to Ride Bikes Radio, stay tuned. We were going to have a new episode of Ride Bikes Radio coming for you any day now if you haven't already heard it. Again, your patience has been appreciated. But that is it for the week, gang. So this is the part of the show where I do like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback, whiteroofradio.com. But until next week, gang, this is DB. I'm done.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.